plaintiff, Charles Rooks, dated the defendant, but he claimed she constantly accused him of flirting with other women. And when she got mad, she would destroy his property. He's suing because he claims the defendant vandalized his vehicle. Defendant Randa Hobbs says Charles did flirt with other women, and she finally broke up with him after he sent nude pictures of himself to Randa's mother. She's countersuing because she claims Charles's cousins attacked her, and she believes Charles was behind it.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you, sir.
Growing up, Your Honor, I grew up in a good home. It went into my latter teens that I started drinking and using marijuana.
What age?
About 18. Actually, my first night was graduation. Going into college, I continued, ultimately cutting class and then getting me kicked out.
Was the what?
Drinking and smoking, and I tried to sell cocaine, and it got back wind to everyone, and I got kicked out, which led me to, after that, going to jail multiple times.
What?
Disorderly conduct.
After being
Public
kicked out of
indecency.
school or in school?
After being kicked out of school, Your Honor. I went
What
to prison.
type of disorderly conduct? You was just a fool or what?
Yeah, drinking, acting stupid.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Couldn't contain my
All right.
alcohol.
Were you an alcoholic?
Yes, sir.
All right, there you
Yes,
go.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And how did life go from there?
It wasn't until February 2019. I'm sorry, September of 2019.
You were alcoholic up until the end, you're saying?
Yes, sir.
2019?
Yes, sir.
And when had your alcoholism began?
When I was 18, back
I
in
don't
like
know what year that is.
94, 95. Back in the day, Your Honor.
94 to 2019, that means you were an alcoholic. How many years?
25.
For 25 years you were an alcoholic?
Yes, sir. Acting stupid, running
That's
wild.
not stupid, that's addicted to alcohol. I said you're an alcoholic.
Yes, sir.
Being stupid is a one-time thing. I mean, when people make a mistake, but you continue, you were an alcoholic, like a dope fiend, like a heroin addict,
Yes, sir.
like all the others. So
Oh no, I smoke crack.
you smoke crack
I
now?
smoke-
Well, there you
yeah.
go. You didn't
I
change it
went
up.
to cocaine.
You went from alcohol to crack.
Yes, sir.
Does that work better for you now?
No, I got clean. I got clean in September 2019.
Oh, I thought you said you went from alcohol to crack.
Yes, sir. I did. I was drinking, and then I started smoking crack when I was out there, Your Honor.
Okay, you smoked the crack and your heart raced. You drink that Hennessy and slow it down.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes,
Wasn't
Your
drinking
Honor.
Hennessy anymore.
It took me
They
to
wasn't
places.
drinking Hennessy anymore,
No, something else.
It took me to places I didn't want to go.
though. How did you recover?
After seeing my mama cry so many times and tired of going in and out of jail and not doing nothing, seeing my brother and sister
you do?
progress, I went to treatment,
There you go.
and I stuck and stayed this time.
There you go.
And I
How
was
many
in
times
treatment
did you go before?
about 4. About 4.
And it's been since 2019. You've been clean for the most part.
Yes, sir.
A relapse here and there, whatever. I expect that. Now, what about NA? Did you start going there, and do you continue to go?
Yes, sir.
All right. You're on to the right formula.
I'm still in treatment.
Yeah, good. There you go. And you're on to the right formula. Good. Good. Good to hear that. And, you know, folks relapse. So, yeah, that's a tough struggle, but I'm glad to hear you're recovering. And tell me about yourself, ma'am. Were you a dope fiend too with him?
For a little bit,
Okay.
yeah.
What was your drug of choice?
Heroin.
Heroin?
Yep. I've been clean for almost 8 years.
Good. How did you do it?
I went to rehab.
And then NA?
NA, yeah.
All right. You slow about saying that. But 8 years is very good, and I'm sure you probably had a bump or two along the road. But
yeah.
that's as long as you're trying. Now, I'll have no problem with you. Y'all won't hear me calling you crackheads or dope fiends if you're trying and if you continue to try. If you're a recovering addict, I'm going to call you just that, and I'm going to say I'm proud of you as I am. So, what about the relationship between you all? What was that like?
The relationship, well, we started dating in January of 2020. We had known each other 13 previous years. It was in February when I started seeing that she was drinking and mixing medications. And it's like she would flip on me, Your Honor. In July at the basketball court, she shows up and playing basketball with the fellas, and she just goes berserk on me. And, you know, my fellas are looking at me like, man, what's wrong with her? And I'm like, man, it's just love, man. It's just love. You know, in August.
What did she do when she came there?
I started throwing my clothes out the car. You late for dinner. Ran the Raven pointing at my head, you know.
And you're on the court or off the court on sideline?
On the court. On the court, Your Honor. On the court.
She come in there screaming and holler about you missed dinner.
Yes, yes.
He was having a good game, too.
Yeah. I mean.
And you attribute that to her alcohol or
Yes.
abuse of pills?
Yes, sir.
But you don't have any reason to believe she's on heroin, is she?
No.
Or has been in recent years?
No, sir.
Okay, good. And so, when did you all break up and why?
We broke up in the middle of February. February the 1st, top of February, you know, another one of those instances. She burnt my clothes, burnt my shoes. Everything that was at her house got burnt. And it was for being flirtatious at one of her family members' party. And I'm like, man, this is never going to end. This is toxic. You know, it's time to cut it off.
Yeah, if you being flirtatious with her relative in a way that indicates there may be some desire, then yeah, it is time to cut it off, because that would be highly disrespectful. I can see if you say, hey girl, you're looking good there today. Keep it up, keep it up. I'm gonna have to hook you up with one of my buddies. That type of flirtation sounds innocent. But hey baby, boy, you looking good today.
It was nothing like that, Your Honor.
There's two types of flirtations. For 25 years you an alcoholic?
Yes, sir, acting stupid, running wild.
That's stupid, that's addicted to alcohol. You're an alcoholic.
Yes, sir.
Being stupid is a one-time thing when people make a mistake, but you continue, you were an alcoholic, like a dope fiend, like a heroin addict.
Defendant Randa Hobbs dated the plaintiff, but she claims she broke up with him after he sent nude pictures of himself to Randa's mother.
Let me hear from you, ma'am, about the relationship and why it ended. He says you were doing all this, but you had to do it for a reason. Now that I'm hearing he hit on your relative or flirted with your relative, I see why. You tell me.
Actually, he started drinking heavily too. And I found out he was sending nude pictures to my mom. That's what ended it. Yes. They was texting back and forth, and he sent her nude pictures, and that's finally when I had
No,
enough.
sir. The pictures that she's talking about were pictures I sent her. I don't know how her mom got her. I didn't send it to her mom.
Right.
Once again, she says I was flirtatious with her mom. I'm just trying to be a gentleman, trying to get the family to like me, sir. That's all. I'm black.
I see. Depending on how that picture look, you may or may not be doing a good job.
No, Your Honor.
Does your family like him?
Yeah, my
Okay,
mom.
you might have been all right. But keep sending them, Doc.
Your Honor, they country folks.
Now you talk about something. I'm glad you know that. At least you know that, Doc.
Yeah, I didn't like going to family gatherings.
Let's get to the car damages. How does she owe you for car damages, sir?
Okay, well, she showed up at my house, Your Honor. It was the end of February, and I'm upstairs, and my friend comes up, and he's like, man, she down there by your car. That crazy girl down there by your car. So my two cousins are downstairs, and they beat me out there to her. A fight ensued out in my front yard. But as soon as I get out, as soon as I go downstairs, I break the fight up. Well, she's pretty messed up, so my first thing to do was just call the ambulance for her. She's still talking about those pictures.
That's not what.
So,
yeah, if you sent them to her mother, and where do you believe they came from? You believe they came directly from him?
From him.
To your mother?
Yes.
Did you discuss it with your mother?
Yeah, she acted like she didn't know why he sent them, but they was talking back and forth for a while.
Had you been texting with her mother independently?
My mom
in the
was-
fact?
my mom like 2 times, Your Honor. She knows that. Them came out of your phone.
No.
What did your mother say they talk about when they talk?
She didn't. I just left it alone. Like, she was real short with it. So,
Looking for
I mean,
her?
I already knew. I read the messages. I seen it. It was
What
on.
did the other messages say?
They was flirting back and forth.
You remember any one sentence maybe?
He was telling her how sexy she was, and just
How old is your mom?
my mom's like 60 something.
Okay. All right, let's move on. You say you were convinced that they were flirting around and
They
the new
was.
pictures were from him to her and she acted like it was no big deal.
Yeah.
The other text, how did you get a chance to read the other text?
He
did you
had
see the
been
pictures?
using my phone, and he logged into his Facebook on my phone. So that's how I seen all of them back and forth.
All right.
Your
Okay.
Honor, first of all, I'm 400 pounds. I ain't gonna be sending everybody no nude pictures. I know better than that.
It was just
Those were pictures to you, Randa. You need to stop that lying.
So, ma'am, what do you say to the damages to the car?
yes, I did it.
Okay.
Yes,
When did you damage the car?
I come back and damaged the car after I got out of the hospital.
And
They
he-
put 16 stitches in my head.
Okay, so your damage in the car was in retaliation to the assault.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
What's your defense to
But
pay
I don't
for?
feel like I owe him. I have a scar on my head. He set me up. He had been trying to get me to come over there, and that's not how it happened. I come over there, we was arguing outside. I slapped him because I asked him about it, and he was laughing in my face, so I slapped him.
About the pictures? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep. And then he started yelling for his cousins. And I could see him, like, in the background. He wasn't trying to break it up or anything. Like, they had me
What
down on
did
the
he
ground.
say about his cousins? You say yelling for them, like
Yelling
what?
for them. Yeah, he was
Saying
yelling their
what?
names for them to come outside. And they was kicking me in my head. Like, they both started beating
And
me
what
up.
was he doing?
He was standing in the background. Like, he wasn't telling them to stop or anything.
So how did it end?
Eventually they quit.
Okay. And did you say
And I
anything
called-
to him since?
I haven't said too much to him at all. I don't have
Go to the
nothing
police.
to say to him.
Did you go to the police?
Yeah, no, I went to the hospital, but I didn't go to the police.
Why not?
I don't know. I just figured I'd let it go
Okay, so why did you determine you're not going to let it go now?
because he's suing. He had the nerve to bring me to court.
Because you're guilty.
What?
I'm sorry. Because she's guilty. Why would I set her up? She's down there messing with my car.
Well, that's why you would sick your cousins on him. I can see if you say, hey girl, you're looking good there today. Keep it up, keep it up. I'm gonna have to hook you up with one of my buddies. That type of flirtation sounds innocent. Well, hey baby, boy, you looking good today.
It was nothing like that, Your Honor.
That's 2 type of flirtations.
Defendant Randa Hobbs dated the plaintiff, but she claims she broke up with him after he sent nude pictures of himself to Randa's mother.
How much were your damages, sir, for your car?
The engine
admits to
replacement.
that.
The engine replacement was $2,700, Your Honor.
All right. 2,700 is the car damages. That's your judgment. She admits to that. I'm going to grant her $1,000 for the assault. I believe you called your cousins because thank God you didn't want to hit a woman, and they did her in on behalf of their cousin who called them. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff and yours as well.
Thank you.
I don't have anything to say. Nothing at all.
I just wanted her to get some help, Life is too short and it's valuable.
Okay.
I still care about her. Don't wish her no harm. Never have, never did. I just wanted to get some help.
Plaintiff Brittany Smith and her mother Tammy Longlinay say the defendant is Brittany's brother and he has struggled with a drug and alcohol addiction. Brittany's suing him today for unpaid DMV fees. Defendant Jeffrey Brydup admits he had issues with drugs and alcohol, but insists he straightened his life out 5 years ago. Jeffrey denies owing his sister for anything.
All right, start with you.
Okay, so Jeffrey is my younger half brother. We didn't grow up together though. I lived with my dad and he lived with our mom. So growing up, we weren't too close, but in about 2009, I was getting out of a bad relationship. So I moved down south into our mother's house. And that's when me and Jeffrey became close. Like living in the house with him, it was like I had an older brother there. Like he would protect me. Nobody could hurt me. Nobody could do me anything wrong. It was a really good, close brother-sister, relationship that we had been missing out on for so many years. But as the years went on, Jeffrey became just attached to the wrong kind of crowd, the wrong kind of people. And he just went off and he done his own thing. And I didn't really agree with his lifestyle. So we haven't been as close as we used to.
And what do you want to tell me about your relationship, sir?
I mean, like she said, we didn't live together as children. We were older when we moved together. I mean, she would come sometimes like on the weekends and stuff when we were younger, but we really didn't get close until like 2009, like she said.
Okay, and what changed about you? She says that you all were very close. She said, but you changed, and she had to kind of distance herself because sounds like she's saying you had a lifestyle that was destructive. She didn't say it, but sounds like that's what she was hitting at.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. It was pretty destructive. I mean, I sold drugs. I did drugs. I found my best friend dead. I kind of quit doing drugs and started drinking, and then I wrecked a vehicle, and like I kind of quit drinking after I wrecked the vehicle.
Went back to drugs?
And no, not.
Oh.
I started smoking weed again, but now I don't do anything. Like I got my family together. I got my own business. I'm a commercial fisherman.
Good. How long you been in that type of lifestyle?
5 years now.
Oh, good. All right. And so in the last 5 years, have you all resumed your relationship, ma'am?
Not really, not too much.
Why do you think that is?
I don't really agree with what he
Crazy
said.
boyfriend.
Oh, you don't believe that what he's saying is a fact? He's got a
Right.
stable family, he's working, he's got a business, and he's not living a destructive lifestyle. That's not your observation?
Yeah, him
No.
being a commercial fisherman sounds fishy.
Oh, that's so corny. Him being a commercial fisherman sounds fishy.
I'm a
Give
crabber,
you some
actually.
time. I had never gave anybody time on this show yet. I may have to consider giving you 30 days for that. Lord have mercy. I had never gave anybody time on this show yet. I may have to consider giving you 30 days for that. Lord have mercy.
Defendant Jeffrey Brydup is being sued by his sister, who claims Jeffrey was addicted to prescription pain pills.
What would you disagree with? Let's just get right to it. Because he says last 5 years he's lived a wholesome life. We clapped for him. All the viewers start smiling, and then you take all our joy away. What's your observation? He has not changed in what way? Because you've cast a little cloud over his glory. What has he failed to change, in your opinion?
A lot.
Okay, a lot like what? You're about to give an example?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, he's put 4 vehicles in a ditch within a year's time.
How long ago?
This year.
Wow. Is that true, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. What happened 4 times?
I was drinking.
Remember you told me you were straightening your life out 5 years ago? You looked me straight in the face. I'm a family man, no troubles. I got my own business. And here, I went in the ditch 3-4 times because I'm drinking. You either drunk or you've damaged your brain with the drugs. Your brain cells have been damaged. Something is wrong. Go ahead, ma'am. So what did he do to cause you to sue him for $850?
Well, in 2016, I had moved back in with my mom because I was dating this guy, but we kind of...
By the way, folks, he made a fool out of y'all. Y'all see, I didn't clap. I don't think I did. Because I know game when I see it. I said, I'm going to do a wait and see on this. I'll let y'all do all that. He had, great job, great job. Go ahead.
But he does have his own fishing company. So in 2016, he needed a vehicle as a way to get back and forth to work. And he has his son, like he has full custody of his son. So he needed a vehicle. So he came to me and he asked me if I could put a truck under my name and the insurance under my name. Because at the time, he wasn't able to put it under his name. And since, I knew he had a son to take care of, I obviously said yes. So things were doing good from 2016 to 2017. He kept up with the insurance and I never had no problem out of it. But then in 2017, I got an email from the insurance company saying that the policy had lapsed and that it was going to be canceled because
when
no
did
payment.
you get that?
The email is from February the 6th of 2017 stating your auto policy has been canceled.
All right. And when you mentioned it to him, what did he say?
Well, at that time, I didn't know that I was being charged for anything. In Louisiana, you have to turn in the plates as soon as you drop the insurance or you'll be charged. And it's like a recurring fee and it builds up until it caps out at $850.
But you learned of it in February of 17.
Yeah, the cancellation. I learned of the cancellation in 2017, but whenever I found out that it had got up to be $850 was in 2018.
I got it. That's why I asked, what did you say to him when you found out?
Yes, I said, I just got a letter in the mail because I can't renew my driver's license now because I'm going to have to pay the $850 for the fee. And he said as soon as he got the money, he would pay me. And then I waited a little while. I asked again. As soon as he got the money, he'd pay me. I have a voice recording of me and him discussing the money.
Okay, when is the last time you all discussed it?
The voice recording that I sent to you, that would be the last time, and it was a pretty ugly conversation.
Do you remember what month and year it was?
That was the end of 2020.
Okay, so let me hear from you, sir. Why don't you give me some background on her getting it in her name, paying the insurance?
That is all true, but I did not let the insurance lapse. I canceled the insurance because I bought a new truck because I got a family. 2006 Chevy Avalanche, and I called her and told her I was canceling the insurance. What do we need to do? Because I didn't have a license. So I didn't go to the DMV. I knew nothing about turning in a license plate or anything. She was with a crazy guy that would not let her talk to her brother or her mother. Now they are separated. So her and mom is all friends again, and she can talk to us. But I called and asked about it. She said there was nothing that needed to be done. And then I get a call when it's $850. That's cheap to come up with.
It's a shame. It's a shame what happened to her with that boyfriend not letting you talk, all that and all the things before you knew that you owed $850. But now that you know, what do you say to that?
Defendant Jeffrey Brydup is being sued by his sister, who claims Jeffrey was addicted to prescription pain pills.
Do you owe the $850 or not?
I think I only owe her $500 because she came to my house one time, and when her and her boyfriend was split up, and she lost her car keys at my house, and I paid it was like $200 or $250 for the key, and then I had to pay $100. The Papa Lock to come program the key for her car. So it came out to like $350.
Okay.
And we were supposed to make an agreement that it would take off of the $850 that I owed her. And once she got back with her boyfriend, because it was a not even a 24-hour breakup, she could talk to me again. So we never could really settle it out.
She got with her boyfriend, and he didn't want her to even ask for her money.
Now, he didn't want us to talk.
I got you. He didn't want you to talk. Did he say send it in the mail, though, where you don't have to really talk?
He didn't
or
tell
what
me
you
nothing.
call it, how do you, a Venmo or whatever?
Yeah.
Nobody mentioned that. You don't have to talk when you do that. You just punch the buttons. You don't have to talk. You don't have. You want to talk to her or her boyfriend? Fine. Just put that $850 in there. Doo-doo-doo. All right. His only defense today is that you were to take $350 off of the $850.
Okay. So, yeah, what happened was me and his girlfriend, we went out one night. Him and her were fighting. Me and my boyfriend were fighting. So me and her, we went out. So when we came home, he was
Y'all lost the car keys.
messed up, kind of out of it. And he was mad that we left. So the next day, all of a sudden, my key was missing. And nobody knew what happened to my key. I didn't even drive my car. The girlfriend did. But I saw her place them right by their door when we walked in. So when me and the girlfriend were talking later, she said, yeah, he probably hid it. He doesn't want us to leave again. So I think that's what happened with the key. And that's why he replaced my key, because he did in fact lose the key.
When did that happen, sir?
I don't remember, sir.
He doesn't remember, so I can't accept your testimony as credible because you don't even remember it. All right, what is it you wanted me to hear?
But also, I would like to say we never had an agreement that the money would be taken out of what he owed me.
Okay, he doesn't even remember when it happened.
Yeah.
So let's move on. Go ahead.
Yeah, we have the audio.
Okay, let's hear it.
Well, what? I'm a no-good drug-head piece of shit. I have nothing to say to her.
I mean, you really are a piece of
When I have the money to pay her some money, I will.
It's been years. I've been hearing that for years, Jeff. I've been hearing that for years.
What about that $300-something key that I bought?
Yeah, you lost my key. You lost it.
Okay, we're going off into these keys again. We're talking about the DMV bills, and as we
it's on there. Like he continues to talk about that he does owe me the money.
Yeah, I only needed to hear it once. I heard it once. He said he owed you the money. And let me say that first thing out of your mouth, sir, was what I've been asking you about. Because you say you were fine for 5 years and stable for 5 years, and you certainly didn't come across as that. Once she gave her testimony and you admitted to 4 accidents in 1 year because of drinking, but at least on this phone conversation you admit, because you say, I'm a no good drug head piece of S. I have nothing to say. When I have the money to pay her some money, I will. All right, I hope you get over your drug problem and you won't have to talk to her anymore. All you gotta do is pay her. $850 is your judgment, as he said he would pay you. Have a good day. Judgment for you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you. Jeffrey, Brittany, you know you love each other. You know you love each other. Stop. We do, but it'll take time after this.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, y'all can quit putting me in the middle.
I ain't putting nobody in the middle. I'll come visit you when she leaves. I have nothing else to say. I love you, Mom. Bye. Have a nice day.
I love you too.
Plaintiff Renee Bailey is married to the defendant, and their marriage was good until the defendant falsely accused her of cheating and then vandalized her car. Renee's suing for the car damages, 2 rings, and pain and suffering. Defendant Lynette Patton says her relationship with Renee was riddled with fighting and infidelity, and Renee even cheated at their wedding reception. Lynette denies owing Renee for anything, and she's countersuing for breach of contract.
Start with you.
I met Lynette 2016. We dated a few years, got married 2019.
Yeah, that's a good way to approach it. 3 years. Dating 3 years and then get married.
Yeah.
How'd it go?
It's going good. Great. So I suspected.
The relationship was fine. You all weren't falling out and doing any of that. I know your typical couples have a little something back and forth from time to time, but anything beyond the usual back and forth?
Yeah.
Nothing beyond that on a regular basis? Good.
Not true.
She said not true. What was it on a regular basis?
There was a lot of arguing in the beginning. A lot of infidelity, in the beginning.
Defendant Lynette Patton is being sued by her estranged wife, who says after Lynette falsely accused her of cheating, she vandalized her car.
How did things, when did they turn sour on a regular basis, if it happened at all?
Oh, it did. Somewhere around 2020, that's when it got bad, around March.
This was the first time that you all had a big issue? And that's what you're suing about? All right, so let me get some background from her, because she doesn't believe the relationship was good. She thinks it was flawed from the beginning.
No. So I met Renee in 2016. We dated for like 2 years before we got married. She was legally married to someone else, but we were still dating. She went into a divorce with that person, and we got married in 2019. So in 2019, around the wedding time, we had a reception, and during our reception, I saw Renee kiss one of the waiters at our reception.
Not true.
Wow.
So
what do you mean?
Not true.
At the wedding, she kissed someone?
Yes.
How did you find that out?
Because she went missing for like an hour or so, and I was looking for her. And I went into the washroom, and her and the waitress was in the washroom. She said it didn't happen, but I know what I saw. This happened at our reception.
You didn't get annulment?
No.
Okay. What did happen? You just stayed together with no problem?
Yes, we stayed together.
Wasn't any problem after that?
Yes, it was a problem after that. A few months after that, I saw her in a store with another female that she was dating prior to me. So
they came together, you think? Went
absolutely.
to the store together?
Yes, absolutely.
Your Honor, that's not true.
Mind you, after she told me that she didn't associate with this young lady, and I saw her in the store, she got a little upset because I kind of confronted her and the female inside the store, and I got a little bit upset, so once I got upset, as usual, Renee likes to tend to get mad, and she decided that she wanted to end things, which I said, okay.
So let's get to what happened after that. She said you decided to end things, and you said, okay. Is that what happened? You tell me the whole thing.
Yeah.
She said you kissing another woman at the wedding reception,
not
2
true.
months later at the store together. You tell me.
Not true. She did not witness or catch me in the bathroom. This is what happened.
You mentioned it to you, I'm sure, and what happened?
Yeah, and it was squashed, so I thought it was. No, she did not catch me in the washroom like she said, kissing on a woman. No, she didn't see me kissing a waitress. She did see me in the store, me and my friend, and I did not date this young lady. We were friends. That's it. Strictly friends. So we was hanging out. That's it. And she saw us in the store. She became very loud and called me out my name and her out of her name. And that's when I told my friend, let's leave. Let's go to calm the situation down. So we end up leaving. And I actually spoke with Lynette later that day. And she's supposed to came over to the house to talk to me so we can talk about what happened in the store. But she came over, but we never got a chance to talk because she came to the house, and I stay with my identical twin sister. We stay together now. So she saw items there that belonged to another young lady at the house, and she got upset with me about that. And I was like, those not mine. I can't tell you something that's
they walked in here on their own.
Yeah. So
why didn't you understand that?
Right.
You heard her. They walked in there on their own. The clothes.
Well, I don't know about all that.
Are you saying
Yeah, they were with my
Go ahead,
twin sister.
So
Yeah. So
how did that conversation continue?
So she ended up leaving, and during this time I go outside. I mean, she's damaging my car. She's on the hood of my car. I'm like, Lynette, get down, stop. I knew you was cheating with her, and I'm like, who is her? Stop. Lynette is very jealous. I can't speak to another female without her, oh, that's who you're messing with.
Yeah, she started off saying that. She started off focusing on that.
Yeah, I'm like...
Go ahead.
So I let her know. I was like, well, I don't think this is going to work with us, so let's get a divorce. I told her, let's get a divorce.
So what happened?
I went and filed for the divorce, but I didn't go through it because I love my wife.
Defendant Lynette Patton is being sued by her estranged wife, who says after Lynette falsely accused her of cheating, she vandalized her car.
Tell me about the rings then. What exactly, and the car damages? You've told me about the damage.
Oh.
What damages were there to the car?
She tore my rear view mirrors off each side of my door, the front doors, and she slashed the tires.
Do you have pictures here?
No, I only have pictures of my rings that I purchased.
Okay. So, and that's what you're suing about.
Yes.
You have something. You have to show me something about the car damages. Ma'am, you tell me what happened with the car.
So with the car, I did jump on top of the hood. I put a dent in it. But as far as the mirrors and all that wasn't me. Probably one of her other females.
Yeah. Did you get it repaired?
Yes, I did.
All right. You have the receipts?
No.
So you bring zero evidence regarding the damage?
Yeah.
All right. And you said it was a small dent in the hood?
Yeah, it was a small dent.
And do you know what the hood dent cost?
No, because
all right. So I don't know how I can give you a judgment. Okay. So let's get to the rings.
Okay. Now for the rings, I paid $2,100 for those rings. I paid $1,400 for hers, and I paid $700 for mine. So Mother's Day, I went to her house to give her a Mother's Day gift. Her and her mom and her daughter. So I gave her the gift. She was like complaining about, well, I'm not finna clean this kitchen up. So I took my ring off, laid it on the counter to wash the dishes because I was washing it with bleach. I don't wash my rings in bleach. So I was cleaning up. I got done cleaning up and I went to get my ring. My ring wasn't there. Asked Lynette. Lynette, did you see my ring? No. Everybody was gone. Nobody was there but Lynette. So I'm like, Lynette, where's my ring? She was like, I don't know. She helped me look for the ring and everything. I said, I'm not going to be looking all over the house for the ring, and I know where I laid it at. And it should have been there.
How did that wrap up?
I just ended up leaving.
Okay. And
without the ring.
Anything since then?
No, and then she told me that she was going to, pay me for the rings and all that, but that never happened.
All right, let me hear from you on the rings.
So about the rings, Your Honor, she threw the ring. She didn't leave it, she threw it. She got mad because somebody apparently told her that I was messing with somebody. That I was messing with someone, and she left the ring, actually threw the ring. I took the rings and I pawned the rings. Yes, I did pawn the rings because I felt like, why do I owe her for some rings? And she threw it at me. And she wasn't going to get them rings to nobody else. She wanted the divorce, so it was no sense of having no ring.
Have you gotten a divorce?
No, we have not.
Why not?
She filed the papers. I have the papers right here. She didn't go through it. So I have the papers here that I filed. If you look on page 7.
She didn't go through with it, though.
No, she didn't go through it. She signed it, so she did a fee waiver.
So she withdrew the
Yeah, I guess
filing?
so. She was waiting for like a fee waiver.
You have a comment on the marriage? That means you all are still married?
Yes, we are.
Okay, well, only thing you can do there is refile. That's the only thing I can help you with. You need help refiling?
No.
Okay, because I can help married couples when they're arguing about their property. It's joint property. What's your counterclaim? $1,200.
Well, I'm countersuing her for expenses of the wedding because I have a letter here from my wedding planner where Renee said that she would...
Tell it to the next judge. Have a good day. You all go and talk to the divorce judge. He'll work all this out for you. Otherwise, you all, like your other married couples, most of them don't bust each other's window and jump on each other's hood. But if they do, they're jumping on their own hood and they're busting their own windows because it's joint property. Whatever y'all do to each other property, you're doing it to yourself. Have a good day. Claims dismissed.
I have nothing to say to her. I'm done.
That's fine. It was hell in the first place, so I just want the divorce to be final.